What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Party people, is your boy Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals, giving you everything I can in the youth baseball space, helping kids get maximum exposure in and around the country, helping kids get into school. Holla at me if you need my help. All right. Listen, man. This is something that I wanted to kind of hit on the other day, and I just thought of some topics that are relevant going on behind the scenes in my life, which I always do. I share stories, people, coaches, parents may ask me something that I feel like if it's a topic that needs to be shared on here to talk about, I put it on here. Or if I see, I'll be ear hustling or stalking other pages. And if I hear of a topic of parents that are asking questions about certain things, I bring it up here, you know what I'm saying? Because if it helps one, if one parent and one other group is asking it, I know that it may be something that somebody here may be wanting to hear about too. Corey, what's up, family? ATL is in the building. All right. Listen, man. One of those topics, man, that come up behind the scenes that I've been talking with here in the little, in the behind the scenes. What's up, Javier? And here in Atlanta, Georgia, man, we've been talking about coaches and different, um, backgrounds, and um, you know, I'm all for great coaches and wanting great coaches to help young, athletes out here, right? Because there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of what's up, Randall, man? Romeo, what's good, baby? All right. It's a lot of teams out here. Everybody named mothers have organizations and programs jumping up, and there are some really good coaches, but there are some questionable ones too with on the field, right? But this has come up to me, and I have asked this question. Bubba, what's up? I have asked this question before. Josh, what's good, baby? What up? What up? ATL's in the building. I have asked this question before in the past, and I kind of came up again because I was having a conversation with a dad the other day, and he brought up a coach name, and he said, I just don't know. He has this, lingering in the past, and man, I saw. And it's tough. What up, Keish? What's going on? Texas is in the building. So one of the things that I felt like the need to talk about here was bringing up because each year I've been involved in the youth baseball space. I always hear about a coach or two that sometimes either it could be lying about their past, about where the level that they played at, which is prevalent. That happens a lot. To sexual assault cases, to being locked up, to even the worst of the worst. What's up, Monica? What's good? All right, Rod, what's up, baby? All right, what's up with my boy Dylan, man? What's good? But one of the cases that even came up to me back in my Memphis days was a coach that um, caught a statutory rape charge, right? And um, it came out, and he ended up, you know. What up, Erica? Tell my boy Shane I said what's up, man. I'm glad Shane listening in. All right, one of my boys over there committed to University of Memphis over there. So shout out to Erica and Shane out there in Memphis, man. But speaking of my Memphis days, it was a coach out there that had got um, basically called out because somebody dug in his past and saw that he had got arrested for some stuff in the past that happened, man, and I didn't know the whole story. I heard 2 or 3 different stories, man, but the fact is he was actually running a program, all right, and that came about that he had some issues that happened, and again, I'm not here to judge. That ain't cool, but I can't remember the whole story, but it was an excuse or something that happened that it all came to light. I believe there's different levels, man. Because listen, everybody's not a saint. Everybody has a past. That doesn't mean you can't coach somebody on a baseball field. But when does that line get crossed where you worry? Because the pressures, you know what somebody instills, especially from a man to a man, when he instills in that, because it's bigger than just X's and O's on the field. When you have a really good coach, he's gonna teach you some real ish. You know what I'm saying? As he's going to be an extension of a dad or of a parent. That's what you hope. All right. When a good coach really is going to influence your son's or your daughter's life, it's going to be more than just X's and O's, right? And that's what you hope for. And you're only going to get that. I talk about this all the time. I've had, I don't know how many coaches I've had in my life, from professional all the way down to little league. All right. But I can only count on one hand, man. You know what I'm saying? That coaches that really influenced my life, right? And those one hand guys, all right, it was more than baseball, right? Some are just strictly baseball, but most of them are people that affected me from a man's point of view, helped me become a man, helped me, and the people that I always related to coaches wise is it was always bigger than baseball and the relatability aspect of it. All right. So when I see these people that come up and they have a shaky past, right, and it comes up, I'd rather be put on the table than, you find out that your kid is playing with this coach or something like that, and it pops up that the guy was lying or was hiding this shaky past. And I want to ask, again, I want like we always do with this, man. I want this type of platform to be, I want it to be an open forum. I want to get your guys, parents. I want to get your suggestions or your, thoughts on this, like always, because again, this is everybody that listening has some form, some child, a kid, a teenager, younger kid, or something like that. And you guys, most of you guys, even if you're in high school and you're about to grad, some of my guys are about to graduate, some, what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys are just starting, in the grand scheme, and even though you may be playing 10 years already, youth baseball, but, if you're going into college and playing, and you're essentially playing at the next level, and you're going to be around a lot more, individuals, man, and coaches wise. So this particular, person had a shaky past, so he got locked up for some drug stuff. All right. And we talked about it with the dad, and, he brought him up and he said the guy was a great dude, man. But he had a questionable past. This dad was willing to look past this because it was in the past, okay? And he felt like, the way he acts now, and he changed his ways. But that was that type of charge. But what about other ways? You know what I'm saying? What about, this the some have questionable when it comes to, young girls or boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that there? All right. He might have been 22, 23, messing with a teenage girl and got a charge and all of that. Do you just dismiss that person? All right. Do you get rid, say like he can't coach my kid, you know what I'm saying, because of this past that he's had? Because again, there's people that are playing Major League Baseball right now that you may not know, but they have a questionable past. All right. They're not coaching your kid, but your kid may be cheering for them, right? And if you really know their background, you may be like, wow, all right? So I'm just saying, I know there's different levels. Lying about your past is one, which I hate that part. I think that's a no-go. But being criminally charged for something, you know what I'm saying? That may be something that somebody may not be able to get over, all right? But is there a limit? Are you willing to, if the guy's a great coach, but you find out that he has a questionable past, he's been arrested before, or he's been, he's been locked up, or he's done some things that you're not happy with, all right? Like you wouldn't be happy with your own son doing, but, it may have been 15, 20 plus years ago, all right? Would you be all right with that? I see some comments and I want to read it, and I'm going to share it, which I'm glad. I want this to be, because this is about your guys, you know what I'm saying? This is about you, all right? I just thought it'd be a great topic to share, because I want everybody to tag and share this, because this just came about, man. And I just thought, man, I've always talked about people lying about their past, because I don't like that, when coaches lie about their past to bring on business, but other times you be real quiet about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to bring up certain issues that happened to you in the past, and then it gets found out, then it messes up not only the trust of the parent, but the organization that may have hired you, and hell, it may even be your organization that you started, and you may be a great baseball mind, but it comes out that you had a shaky past. All right. So great, Tom. I want to definitely hear your comments on this, and I'm gonna share a story about me, because you're following me and all of that, but I'm gonna share a story with you. All right. Okay. All right. let's go here. All right. Let's say what's up to Keish, Monica, Erica. This is so true about these boys. Facts. All right, Jacob, I got your text. All right, your message about your coach. All right, I'm gonna holler at him. Okay. Shout out to my boy Lawrence, man. Lawrence, man, I need to holler at you, man. You need to text me and call me, man, a little later, man. I got something I want to run by you. Any types of crimes involving kids is a no-go. I know a guy who spent time in prison for attempted murder, and he's one of the best football coaches, trainers around. All right. So, I mean, that's one of those things, even in the prison system, like, there's a lot of hardcore criminals, man, but dudes that mess with kids, man, they don't fly in the jails, man. All right. You got hardcore criminals that, may have a body or two, but if they find out you harming kids, man, that's even worse. That's like the worst of the worst when it comes to jails. But like I said, this particular coach, man, and I hate to even say the area, man, but it had come to find out that, he had an issue, man, with, I guess it was years earlier, but he was arrested for some type of, messing with a younger girl, and it didn't go well for him. All right. Guy, I actually met the guy. I thought he was, cool. Talked to him a couple of times on the phone, but when it came out hard. All right. It came down on him. He had to get rid of this program. All right. Vince says, "What's up, Vince?" All right. You have to be willing to talk about your past with parents if they ask as a coach. I agree. Like I said, this is something that, like I said, you just don't want to be blindsided from a parent standpoint because, from a coach's standpoint, you don't want to be blindsided because it's embarrassing. But then even from a parent standpoint, you're trusting your kid with this coach. And again, now you feel the trust will never be there, and especially when money is being spent, and it's something that needs to be addressed early, from a coach's standpoint, right? Let me see. All right, never lies is honesty is only policy. Facts. I agree. All right. It's whatever the parents prefer. Stay with the coach or evacuate the premises. You can't hold grudges forever. People are very intrusive and like to exploit people for laughs. And it's sad. It really is. Like I said, I have mixed reviews, man. Some of these guys that I mentioned, and the reason I'm even bringing up this topic, because I don't know the guy personally, but, it came up, his past came up. You know what I'm saying? And the dad I was talking to, that was one of the first things we was talking about coaches and different things here and there. And that particular stuff that he went through as and it was two cases we talked about, two different people. And one, he didn't want to deal with having his son around that person no more, because it was like the charges were so, crazy, right? And dealing with, this was a young kids, but this was actually with a woman, all right? Battery and stuff like that, right? And then there was another one who had a drug charge, all right? But he said one was, he felt like the guy, messed up, did his time, did his thing, whatever, came back and is a great coach, all right? The other one, he felt like when it came to women and stuff like that, that it was too much to handle. And he didn't, he felt like he couldn't trust his kid to be around that person. And that's why, again, this is something that just came up to me. We've been talking, and I just feel like, man, let's hit this. What do you guys feel? And I thank you for the comments. Keep them coming, all right? Great topic, D. All right. A couple years ago, I was coaching, and I had this happen to me. I had an assistant coach who was accused of molesting a kid. I had to ask questions prior to hiring him, trusted ASA softball for proper background check, and it was so bad I resigned as a coach. I felt responsible and haven't coached since then. I just train now. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Man. This is exactly the point I'm talking about, man. And I don't know I have to see who that is. And I thank you for I thank you for bringing up that story, man. And because that's real talk right there, man. And I think that man, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to bring that up, man. Bring that up. But anyway, keep the comments coming. I'm gonna get that. I appreciate you talking about that, man. And because that's again, Background checks need to be have, and not only background checks as far as criminal, but background checks, parents, please, background checks to see if this guy is who he says he is on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because a guy can talk and mechanically teach and talk the right lingo and all of that, which is great. Okay. I don't, to me, if you play college baseball or above, to me, you're considered an expert that you can help young kids. All right, that doesn't mean that you never played past high school that you can't help young kids. But I consider I consider you an expert if you play college ball and above, right? So, but some of these guys be lying about pro ball and college ball, and which it really sometimes it really doesn't matter, man. Especially for gain and some parents sometimes if you just treat your kid right and teach them the right things, they won't care. But I just want the parents to understand, to know, to look back and read through and see where he is and what he's done. All right, especially now in the internet, a lot different from us youngsters, us parents 35 and older. You know what I'm saying? Internet wasn't around, right? So background checks and Googling somebody here and there was tough to do. You just had to trust, all right? And things would come out, like that, man. But I'm just saying, this topic here, I believe, I agree with my boy Bubba just said. I think it's a case by case, man. I think kids, I think women, anything like that, assaults or rapes or attempted this and molesting and what I'm saying, statutory rapes and stuff. That's just, even if it's a man coaching a boy, it's not fitting, man. And I hate. I've known some guys that are, messing with they were 19, 20, messing with teenage girls that got caught up. You know what I'm saying? They weren't necessarily doing anything crazy to the girl, but they got caught up. You know what I'm saying? They were older, they were men messing with younger girls. All right. And that's a case by case type of thing. All right. What do you say about that? You shouldn't be around kids. If you ever did anything wrong with kids, I mean, tell me. I have a daughter, man, and even with and I trust the coach and stuff like that. But you just hear these stories, man. You just saw the whole. I watched part of the documentary. It's just tough to see, and I even feel guilty watching it. But with the dude up in Michigan State, the trainer, you know what I'm saying, with the gymnastics girls, you know what I'm saying, like that type of stuff to me, that shit irks the hell out of me, man. And it's like. But I hear stories and you just never know, you know what I'm saying? Because it just takes that one time for that right man to touch, you know what I'm saying, that girl or the boy, a man to touch a boy and a boy to touch a girl, it just takes that one time. And I know from all of us parents, that's a fear that we have, you know what I'm saying? Because nowadays it ain't just, a man touching on a young girl. Now you got men touching men, young boys, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that is real talk. I know. I know it's not necessarily baseball, but it is. And I may offend some people. Maybe people may like, man, what am I jumping on to over here? But it's real talk. You know what I mean? Because before I'm a coach or anything like that, I'm a dad. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I fear. My daughter's out there. She gets coached by men, and that's something that you have to fear. It's something that you can't help but think about. We experienced this with the position coach recently. However, the coach was open and honest. As it happened some time ago, the coach was actually suspended from the MLB. There you go. All right. So I would want more. Monica says, I would want more info and would consider the ability of people to rehabilitate for anything but sexually related convictions or child abuse. All right. Those would never be okay with me, no matter what excuse they come up with. Facts. All right. That's something that, it's hard to come back from, man. All right. Daniel said, it depends on what the past is and how well I know this guy. Former drug dealers who straighten up, nah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Child molester, child abuse, etc. Nah, facts. All right. That's why I said, that kid thing, man, especially when you're dealing with youth baseball, it's something, man. All right. It depends on the severity of the past and if they come forward about it and don't let me find out. All right. I wish, who said that? All right. I gotta pick up the other page. Ron says one of the coaches that reached out about Dylan was arrested for fraud about 10 years ago surrounding a team at the time. Now he is coaching in JUCO and trying to rebuild his career. All right. This is a college coach. Listen, man, people mess up, man. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share my story. All right. And y'all listen to me every day. Okay. But I'm gonna share my story. Okay. And I want to be totally transparent because I feel like I would be wrong to be like, because like I said, I ain't squeaky clean, especially with my past. Okay. All right. On many occasions. Nothing crazy like women and kids, nothing crazy like that. But I don't have my issues. All right. As a male coach of females, I'm aware that I am under a microscope and welcome it. I do try to talk to my kids, players, like I do my own. All right. And that's the best way to do it, man. All right. So it's unacceptable to have a past with any type of sexual assault involving kids or adults. Facts. Murder charges are hard no. I don't mean to laugh, but man, you're right, Keith. I know as a parent, background checks are a must when it comes to our kids. We must protect our kids at all costs. And your facts. And I'll be the first to tell you, man, and I'm talking and I'm joking here and there, and I'm serious on one part, but even when I hired coaches in the past with my organizations and stuff, I didn't really do a hard background check, and I'm sad to say that. I just went on my feel of how I like individuals. You know what I'm saying? And so the recent part of it, I've been talking to guys and dads and stuff like that about, and I have to come clean. I've hired people in my own organization that I never really did a hardcore. I looked at their baseball background, but nothing with them when it comes to criminally. And this is why, and I'm talking about this here, and I appreciate your comments coming in because I was naive. I overlooked things. You know what I'm saying? It could have blew me up. You know what I'm saying? In a bad light. Especially after I was telling you about this other coach that happened with his own organization that it came out about him. So Jeffrey said, we sat down and discussed this with our teenager. Our son gave the benefit of the doubt, wanted to continue with coach. Fortunately, our experience turned out positive, and our player also learned life lessons. Awesome story, Jeffrey. And that's like I said, because most kids, most of the time, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They go on a personal level how much they like the coach, man. And they don't want to see nothing, you know what I'm saying? Kids, that's sometimes we have to step in on that situation from a parent standpoint, because we can ask, and sometimes, depending on the age of the kid, they just won't understand the ramifications. They just like, hey, I like coach so-and-so, you know what I mean? But I don't know if why what happened. And sometimes they won't necessarily, care, to a point, because they don't even understand some of the criminal, how bad the different levels certain coaches or their past could, hurt or help them, and because I believe, just like, again, some of your favorite athletes have had, some of your favorite artists, musical artists, have had a shaky past. All right. But I still would look up to them. You know what I'm saying? I look up to people, but I don't know if I'll necessarily let them coach my kid. Right. But some people, you'd be surprised in the MLB, some of these guys that have some backgrounds, man. All right. You'd be surprised. All right. Jacob says, my kid is in a program that brought in a coach that had a solicitation charge. He was a former college head coach. Hell of a good coach. At the time, I didn't really care, and I was not really aware of how human trafficking works at the time. Now, having a daughter, I have more thoughts about how I should have felt about it. I should have probably not been okay with him. Man, Jacob, man, I mean, that's real talk. All right. Listen, soliciting, that's one thing. It's listening to minor. It's another, man. And I'm guessing, it's, like I said, I that topic alone, especially when you get around men and dudes and professional ranks and stuff like that, like I said, some people that you have watched on TV, have had some crazy charges and stuff like that. All right. Now, I'm not gonna say with kids. All right. But I'm saying on that, that end, soliciting and stuff like that, ain't nothing. All right. But Jacob, I appreciate that comment, man. That's messed up. And you're right. Like when you have a little girl, man, things change, and Lord have mercy, things change. And I tell my daughter all the time, I say, I knew I was going to have a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because all the ish that I did in the past, and, and all the stuff, professional rankings, that I know the Lord was going to be like, you're going to see, you know, you know how tough it is being a dad of a girl. You know what I'm saying? And I knew I was gonna have it. All right. So, you know, oof, man. Manny says there are always other options. I heard that. Manny says sexual abuse at any age or gender is a no, but also known racist against any color is an absolute no too. Oh, man, hit that up. Oh, thank you, Manny. Woof. All right. Because man, that's a whole nother ball game over there too. All right. Some people have, you know, some charges, you know, like I said, it's a whole realm of spectrum over here. All right. Man, you know, battery or against women and domestic charges. What do you think about domestic charges? You know what I'm saying? Some man, you know, it can goes against, you know, it's a lot to it. Underlining, man, it's a lot to it. All right, Manny. Oof. Appreciate that. Appreciate that comment, Manny. That is a no. Be honest up front. Do your checking out for your of your coaches before you involve with that program. There are a lot of good coaches out here. Yep. All right. Just be patient, man. Being patient. All right. Let me see on the other. Manny says U.S. boxing requires every coach in the United States to take a yearly background check. Maybe this is something every baseball organization should start doing. And you're right. Most already do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, you know, I'm speaking for myself, but most already do. This is something that, man, this is something that, you know, it's sad, man. I think it needs to be both on the criminal side, you know, see if they have a record and also, you know, fact checking their so-called career. All right. Monica Jacobs' comment reminded me of a great coach I now I know who used to be a pimp. Monica, I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. Literally, and I know you in the Bay Area, and I know that's, you know, the Bay Area is known for that, right? But literally, he was a pimp. He has totally changed. He's honest about his past, and parents truly believe that he changed. His pimp days were decades ago when he was a teenager in his early 20s. So I guess I'm a hypocrite for my last comment. This coach is amazing and definitely changed. All right. Thank you, Monica. All right. But man, you know, because family, you know, if that's the case, some of my family and all of that be you know, be messed up in the game from that. But I don't mean to laugh at that neither, but I just think that I just thought that was funny though. Yeah. Let's see here. We got comments coming on this page. All right. This is a truth about these boys. I feel you. It's whatever the parents. All right. Another great topic. D is okay. I got you. Depends on the severity. Sex abuse. We talked about that. All right, cool. I hit all of those. All right, cool. Parents need to be careful about spreading gossip on others when they don't know the facts or even if it's true. But that's a great point, man. That is a great point. Because that sometimes, you know, we would end a career or say something when we truly don't know all the facts. Hell, I don't even know all the facts. I'm telling you about this one dude over there that happened, and you know that's third or fourth person down that told me everything. Obviously, he had to end his organization and everything. But you're right, Bubba. It was all about, you know, what was said, and nobody really knows the true story. I mean, unless you look up his record and see. All right. But I just that is a great statement because, you know, parents, man, you know, we like to talk, man. I say we, I mean outside of baseball, my daughter or something like that. But in baseball, parents like to talk and share and gossip sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Too much, especially on that topic. And I understand, like, you know, something like that. You know, it just takes one or two, you know, small little lies to blow up on a dude on a coach and to come to find out, especially on certain, you know, like women and girls, you know, that's a whole nother beast. That's a whole nother topic, man. You know, I mean, a whole nother ball game. And you end somebody's, you know, somebody may love to coach, but you know, something like this may happen and it ends up all wrong, man. So, listen, I appreciate the comments coming in. Again, just key tips on this. All right, parents, you know, you may have to trust the organization leader, but if he don't say nothing about background, if you ask for it, if he doesn't have that or anything information for you, that may be something that you may have to do if you have the hookup or doing something like that. Also fact check his baseball, you know, background. All right. lastly, I kind of get the gist. Girls, kids, anything crazy, and some type of assault or anything against women, or in the past is a no go. All right, I get it. So speaking on that, right? So years ago, your boy right here, I got arrested. All right, I had got arrested years ago in 2006. And I don't know if it's still on my, I try to get it expunged. It might have been, but I got a misdemeanor for resisting arrest. All right. Speaking on, I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, right? Coming from a nightclub in Kansas, and you know, things escalated with a cop, said a couple of things here and there. I ain't appreciate it. I got loud with him, and it turned out. And really, nowadays, I think about it. I was talking to one of my boys who's, there. I was there with the team. We're celebrating as a team, doing something, whatever, having a good time. And your boy, I got thrown against the hood and arrested and talked about and everything. All right. That was me. And I had I told, I ain't forget about it, but it came up in my past. When I first got into the youth baseball space, they did a background check on me. All right. High school that I was volunteering from, and it popped up. I had to call the courts over there and let them know, like, and they wanted to know everything that happened, and rightfully so. It happened years ago to me, you know what I'm saying? Again, misdemeanor charge, and I thought it got expunged, but it didn't. And but I'm here today to say, like I said, I've had some questionable calls and situations that could have been worse than that one. You know what I'm saying? Being a kid and being a pro and doing, some things that I'm not proud of. Now, that night, I'm not going to sit and say that, I'm totally innocent. But at that time, if what happened then happens, let's say in the last few years, I might not even be here right now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it quickly escalated, extremely fast. All right. And so just being transparent, you know what I mean? I have been arrested in the past. You know what I'm saying? I have. And, it's something that actually I shared this story to the Pirates organization, the front office last year about what happened. You know what I'm saying? You got to be upfront, like you said. And, I don't. So if somebody has a questionable past, they could say I'm questionable here. It is what it is. If that situation was to happen again, I would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole nother subject. I felt like it was racially involved, but that's not this topic right now. I want to hop on right now. I want to kind of talk about the overall view of coaches that may have a past. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole nother topic I can get into. There, all right, on a racial component, all right. But I'm not going on that level right now. I'm just talking about, the past, okay, and what somebody may have, okay. So it pops up. I don't know. I don't know what I don't even know if it came up. I offer that information. You know what I'm saying? Because we were sharing stories, all right. And I did it there. But years ago, when I started volunteering in a high school, years ago, baseball wise, they did bring that up and it came up. Okay. That happened to me at that time about 10, 11 years earlier. All right. So, I'm very open and honest. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? I like to be very transparent because Lord knows I am not a saint. All right. But all I do is try to share information and give you guys some real talk. You know what I'm saying? Experiences that goes along and all of that. I've never done nothing crazy, like drug charges, nothing crazy like that. But, I have a mouth on me. All right. I do. And if I feel like I'm being mistreated, I don't care if it's a cop, I don't care if it's anybody, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say something. That's the New York in me. And that time it got ugly. And, Lord knows I could, things could have been different. You know what I'm saying? Could have been different, man. So I say that, I wanted to share that with you because I don't want you to ever think like, when I share stories when it comes to past and big leagues and ups and downs, I always want to share a story and be transparent. You know what I'm saying? I would never, act like I'm an angel because that's damn sure not the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I keep it 100 and I try to make sure y'all know, you know what I mean? Like this is, and obviously I'm a changed man now, 15 years. Let me say that. I'll be a little bit more quiet, but if I feel like I'm being disrespected, I'm going to say something. That's just me. All right. Say that. I guess I ain't been, whatever, right? So I spent my little hour in jail, but it is what it is. All right. Yeah, that's right. God, I said that, right? Anyway, the real talk. I know I'm scaring some of y'all. I'm like, damn, Coach D, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no doubt. But I want to end this story, man. I'm not a story. I'm gonna end this topic, man. So speaking of a past, I got some crazy news, man, today. And I wanted to share this, and I just, I want to end on a decent, I guess it's a sad note, but I want to kind of make it positive, man. It's on a flip side of what we're talking about. I hit hard with this topic, share my story. I hope you guys come back tomorrow and listen to me and not be like, man, Coach D crazy, man. He talking about this and talking about that. I just keep it 100, all right? So speaking of, like, again, sharing what's going on in my life, man. So 2 weeks ago, shout out to my boy, and this was bringing his whole full circle. He was actually with me tonight. I got arrested, right? But one of my boys reached out to me, man. One of my boys reached out to me on last 2 Sundays ago. He lives in Charlotte, and he was asking me about this girl that actually went to high school with me up in New York, and they actually live in the same subdivision, which is crazy. And we were talking, man, and her cousin, who I didn't know they were cousins then, but one of my biggest rivals in football back in my day in high school. You guys don't know I was a big, at least I like to consider myself a big time football player. He was one of my biggest rivals, man. And I haven't talked to him since I graduated high school 20-some years ago, man. And on Sunday, I had a chance to really talk with him. For the first time, he shared some stories, man, and we talked about some football. He was talking junk like we did back in the high school days, man. And so one of my really close friends, man, from high school called me today to tell me, he's like, yo, you remember so-and-so? So I said, yeah. He's like, yo, he just passed away, man, yesterday. And I said, what? He's like, yeah. I said, yo, I just talked with him 2 weeks ago for the first time in 20-some years. And, he's like, yeah, man, and he was just telling me about his son. His daughter played a little tennis too. And it was just like, yo. And I was just, so anyway, my point to that story, man, just 2 years, I just talked to him for the first time in 20-some plus years, 2 Sundays ago. All right, for the first time we talked, and we instantly started talking junk about football like we was kids. All right, we both ain't played no damn football since the mid-90s, but we was talking junk. And 2 weeks later, man, my boy is gone, man. You know what I'm saying? So nothing, just health related, just kind of boom, and man, he leaves behind a young daughter and a 19-year-old son, man. And it's sad, right? And it hit me hard this morning when I found out. But anyway, my point to that story, and I'm gonna read your comments that's coming in, man. Just make sure you tell your people closely, man. You love them, man. And I'm dealing with my own family issues and stuff too, man. I haven't talked to a couple members here and there for a while, man. You just never know. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like 20-some years later, I finally talked to my dude, and then damn, within less than 2 weeks later, my man is gone. You know what I mean? So just I talk to you, again, you guys know, most of my guys that have been following me know that sometimes close people, I'm around you guys and talking to you guys, know some of you we talk outside of here, but you guys get in my life a little bit here and there. I talked about my boy Jimmy Ayala, who I met on here, and boom, and he passed away 3 weeks after I did a showcase with him in Waco. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, that hit me hard too, man. But this too, man. One of my childhood little rivalry friends, man, just gone, man, with 2 kids. It's just, you just never know, man. All right. So, man, if y'all dealing with anybody, man, just make sure you tell them you love them. You know what I'm saying? That's all. It's real talk, man. All right. Tell them you love them. All right. I know we ain't talking baseball, man, but it's real talk right here. All right. Daniel said, D, at least you honest about making past mistakes, but I again, never made, and I never made a mistake in my life. All right. Yeah, I know y'all going to say everybody make mistakes. Let me explain the difference between mistakes and accidents. I've been involved in a couple of accidents. Accidents can be avoided. Example, you driving and a new tire accidentally blow out, you lose control of the car and hit a building. That's not avoided. Mistakes, example, you drinking and driving and you resist arrest. Those things can be avoided. You facts. All right. I wasn't driving though. All right. But I was at the spot. But but you're right. All right. We all do dumb stuff. I was a semi-pro football team that is permanently banned from the South Bend, Indiana. We got in a fairly large dust up at a club. They ran us all for warrants and kept a few of our boys good memories. Right. Like I said, it's, hey, You're gonna do some stuff that you ain't gonna be proud of. All right. Whew. D, thanks for even discussing this topic. Most wouldn't even talk about this, but it is real. I appreciate it, Vince. That's why I said, like, everybody fluff. We could talk all of this, but I like to, every now and I like to keep it 100, man. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about real topics and share real stories. All right, behind it. So, many with the past, drugs and alcohol are the most educated and loving people on the earth, full of information with a burn to help others. 100% good with the right coach having a checkered past. Obviously, outside of anything negative towards children, I wouldn't have an issue. Look at Ron Washington. That man is a baseball encyclopedia on top of himself when it comes to MLB coaches. Lucky to have him in the ATL. That's facts, man. Shout out to my boy Wash, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, that's a whole other topic, man. With the past but guys with addictions and stuff like that happen. And you know, I talked about this fall of 2019 with my boy Greg Zorn. Shout out to my boy Zorn. I ain't talked to him in a long time, man. But it was right after the lefty pitcher Skaggs, died of apparent overdose of drugs. Young pitcher with the California Angels, and we talked about the drug culture. I hit on a lot of topics, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of topics, and good, bad, and different. But it that is a drug culture that goes along in the Major League Baseball, man. It's no different from the outside world, but stuff gets masked with professional ranks, man. And so and I don't mean to call out. I love Ron Washington. That's my dude, man. Great coach, great dude, man. But and he, like I said, yeah, I ain't here to talk. I love to get him on the show one day, just talk baseball. But a lot of dudes, man, like I said, a lot of these dudes that you look up to, man, if you really, they're real people, man. They're real people with real demons, real highs and lows, man. They just real people. You'd be so surprised at some of the issues that these dudes deal with. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it comes to head where you see football players losing themselves and killing families and their family themselves. Like the young Chiefs player did it a few years back. I want to say, you got guys that, if you guys, a great story, man. I haven't checked out the whole thing, man, but if you even check out the dude now, man, lefty, I can't think of his name, Drew something. Anyway, AAA player with the Giants, man, made the team in the minor leagues, man. But last year he tried to kill himself, shot himself right here, boom, and he lost his eye, but he's making a comeback over here, man. So again, it's I don't know if drugs had anything to do with it, but obviously he's some type of mental issues going on over there. But he survived the gunshot to the head. You know what I'm saying? He's over here trying to make it to the big leagues. Again, I'm not, obviously I talk about the professional ranks because that's where I come from. That's my background. It's been over 20 years, you know what I'm saying? And I still, am around that game. So I know, the culture, the ups and downs of playing and the right and the wrongs, you know what I'm saying? So, but that, if you guys ever take the time, man, go back and, we talked about, me and my boy Greg Zone, we talked about the drugs culture of your baseball, you know what I'm saying? And it's real, man. It's real. It's no different from the real life, you know what I'm saying? And it could take people to the deep end, man. So just I just want you to I definitely want you guys to understand that I'm not here to judge too many people, man. You know what I mean? Like, you just heard my story. I kept it 100, right? I will always, strive to get better. All right. Every day. As we all do, as parents, coaches, all of that, right? Individuals. But this topic, I believe, is something that needed to be talked about. As I hit hard, I got some other topics that maybe a little fun to it, maybe some little real to it, and I'll keep bringing it up. Okay. So, tomorrow, 4 p.m., I'll be on with another hot topic. I was trying to, shout out to my girl, Sharice. Her kid is doing well. I tried to get on the show, but she hooked me up with a couple of JUCO coaches, man. What up, Coach Eaton? All right, man. So, Coach Eaton, man, I'm trying to, trying to hook you up over there with the post grad, man. I'm put a blast email out to my people out there, man, and to my showcase list, and my uncommitted 2021s, man. Just holler at me if you have no place to play right now. I got my kids in my program. We're working on it. Again, shout out to my Stella and Quincy. I got about 2 or 3 others that have signed and going to play, and my goal is to, I got to get them over there. I ain't gonna say they're not fearful, but I got to get them on here. We had Nadine and JP come on here and share their story. But I want to, make this a fun, light thing where you bring on some of my people from the recruiting program that are committing to schools and signing. You know what I mean? I want to bring them on here and share their stories. So we're going, even like my boy Lawrence. I'm going to talk to my boy Lawrence. I've been talking to him for about a month now, and I haven't got him on here. But his kid is signed to go to Jackson State, but it was like the initial conversation and stuff started rolling from the conversations with Coach Whiteside and Jackson State here on the show. All right. I just had another dad I reached out to. I haven't seen or heard from him since October, November, but he came to my show. My first showcase I had in 2020 was in September, and his kid came, and he ended up signing to a post-grad program. All right. And hey, Sharice, I'm talking about you up. I'm good to see you on. All right. You be quiet out there in the background. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl Sharice, and her son Jalen is doing his thing, man. But he signed with a post-grad program in January. You know what I'm saying? He ain't finished his senior year. He went down there to the post-grad and is playing down there, had a really good year, but his dad was like, "Yo, D, I found out about the post-grad from your show." You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and that's what it's about here, man. So like I said, the recruiting program, it is what it is. But even with the showcases and that I do and all of them associated, Coach Ian over here got a post grad, man. It's it's happening. You know what I mean? All in and around, man. So shout out to everybody that's on my program already. Reaching out to everybody, just getting these 2021 squared away. Then I get to everybody else over here. But man, so shout out to everybody that came to the showcases, did what they had to do, and now is signing. And shout out to anybody that has gotten any information from a coach that, was on here, shared their information, and maybe got an offer from that coach. I want to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I do it for. So sometimes I got to pry out the parent, you know what I'm saying? Like I did with I didn't have to pry, but I just called him out the blue just to say what's up, because I was just checking on some of the 2021s that been in my showcase. And I was just like, what's going on with your college situation? And they were like, yeah, we did this post grad and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yo, he's like, I saw the coach and I saw the interview you did with him. And, we reached out and we went from there. So, I could talk about drug culture. I could talk about, good coaches and all of that. But bottom line is, we on this topic, we talk about college coaches and stuff like that. Bottom line is kids are getting opportunities to play at the next level. And even if it's an interview that they listen to and they shared the video with that coach because they never heard of that school, but they shared it with that coach over there, and the coach ended up calling them and this and that and bringing them in, you know what I'm saying? I had something to do with that, I believe. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than that. And then the showcases and the recruiting services all come about that. So I'm not here to, you know what I'm saying, just, anyway, this is what I do it for. All right. So we hit good topics. We talk, we share, you know what I'm saying, share stories. I keep it 100 with y'all. And hopefully the ultimate goal is just getting kids to the next level. All right. If it's making a high school team or going to play in college, you know what I'm saying, or getting a pro contract like my girl Sharice, you know what I'm saying, her son is about to do. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about over here. All right. So anyway. Whew. Daniel, you was a stud. I was living in KC Mo from 1987 to 2015. All right. I've been in nothing but sports my whole life. It was baseball or nothing. I knew I had enough common sense to make it in this world from what I got from parents and other role models. I like what you trying to help kids get into college. That's what's up. Appreciate that, family. No doubt. Appreciate it. All right. Jacob says, speaking of the drug culture, we have always been hesitant to feed ibuprofen to our son. We just don't want him thinking taking the pill is okay to be able to go out and play. Any thoughts on it? We do allow it, but we don't position as a quick fix. Jacob, that's a great topic. All right, because that is something that goes on in my own household. You just gave me a topic for a show. I don't want to speak on that right now, Jacob. All right, I don't even want to talk about it. So, I will. I'm not right now. I should say that. So that is a topic that I would love to speak on. All right, thank you. You just gave me a topic. All right, because that's something that hits home even in my household. All right, so I will hit that up and we go. All right, Coach G, and I'm gonna holler at you. All right. So let's go. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. All right, we're gonna keep the ball rolling, Jacob. I appreciate that information over there. I think that's a great topic to talk about. All right. 4 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys. Holler at me, call me if you need a message. I got a few messages here and there. My guys on my program, I will be reaching out to you guys, man. Developing this plan for the summer. I'm trying to lock in a couple more coaches on here. Maybe next week we can get this done. We have some camps lined up. All right, I'm coming out to hopefully I'll be able to announce it in the next couple days. Besides the showcases, and I got a couple camps that I'll be doing right now, tentatively in Atlanta, Georgia area, and between the Birmingham and Montgomery area. All right, these are going to be for younger kids, all right, 13, 14 and under. All right, now the showcases are always for the 14 and over kids. You know what I'm saying? For those kids looking to get seen by colleges. But if you want some great instruction or anything like that in Atlanta, Georgia area, next month in June, and we're locking down Alabama too. All right, we got 2 camps coming up next month. I'm lining up the qualified coaches, speaking of coaches, and locations and times. All right, so we're very tentative. We're just waiting on one little, okay from to get the Atlanta thing popping off. All right, next month. But we're also going to, and these are from 7 and 8 year olds to 14 year olds. All right, 13, 14 year olds. Okay. Those are going to be the camps. Okay, these are more instructional. Now the showcase are 14 and up. You know what I'm saying? If you're 2025 and older, all right, the showcases is for you. All right, so we're lining up that. I'll talk with a lady today from Charlotte. We're trying to lock down Charlotte, Indianapolis in July, and we're going to see about next month about this. We got Arkansas. You see the bottom of it. We got Little Rock, Arkansas, June 2nd. All right, for the people that signed up. And then if you haven't signed up yet and you're in the Little Rock, come on out. All right, so we will be discussing Florida in a minute, and the show, the camps, all of that. All right. So like I said, we got about 3 or 4 dates that'll be, lining up here, and then I'll be posting on here that you guys, hope to see some of you guys in the summer, especially in your southern region, to make this happen. Okay. So anyway, that's my shout outs. That's what's going on over here. Holler at me. And like I said, I'll have the dates for any 7 to 14-year-old Atlanta, 7 to 14 in the Alabama area. All right. That's coming to you in the next day or so. All right. Definitely by Monday, we'll have all that lined up. All right. So we'll make that happen. All right. What up, Marcy? Good to see you. All right. Chi-Town in the building. Hope you're back in the ATL. All right. So we'll have some dates over there for the younger crew. And we're making this happen. All right. Peace and love, y'all. Have a great day.